Thanks for joining us this evening on TKO8 Local News. Details are limited into a shooting and a manhunt situation that occurred in the city of Harrison last night. Witnesses are reporting that around 10 p.m., Harrison police were called into a domestic dispute in or around the rough trailer park off of Industrial Park Road in Harrison. No official motive has been released, but witnesses say the incident involved two brothers getting into a fight over drugs, leading to one brother shooting the other in the face. The shooter then allegedly fled on foot and a manhunt was initiated. No further details of names have been released as of news time. TKO8 News will bring you more on this story as it develops. And a man with a Huntsville address was arrested by Logan County, Arkansas officials last Friday for allegedly attempting to stalk a child online, according to a probable cause affidavit filed by state police in the Logan County Circuit Court. 33-year-old Daniel Wall sent revealing photographs to a person he believed was a 13-year-old female, which was actually an undercover officer from the Logan County Sheriff's Office, Boyd Hicks. The affidavit states that Wall asked how old she was, and the person responded that she was only 13 years of age, and that Wall later requested that they send a sexy picture to each other. The affidavit continues by stating that Wall exchanged messages with the person discussing a possible meetup, and that Wall allegedly sent inappropriate and suggestive pictures and messages to this person. Wall is a former police officer with the Paris Police Department and the Huntington Police Department, and in 2012 ran for Arkansas House of Representatives, District 74. Wall's arraignment is scheduled for May 13 at the Logan County Courthouse in Paris, Arkansas. Well, the Harrison Planning Commission is set to meet at 1 p.m. Tuesday, and a report from a subcommittee regarding setbacks and definitions of structures and buildings is on the agenda. In late November, Public Works Director Wade Phillips told commissioners that questions had arisen about portable carport structures, which he said had historically been treated as temporary buildings not built on a foundation. There had been a requirement in the past for a building permit, and there are a number of them in the city with no permits. But commissioners are requested specifically about a large temporary carport covering a fifth-wheel camper trailer that had been erected on Windsor Drive on Veterans Day holiday. Joe Golden, a neighbor, said he questioned whether the building permit should have been issued. If so, the carport would have been in compliance with setback regulations that apply to buildings. Phillips told the council that city officials need some sort of clarification on zoning. The commission meeting will be held in the council chambers on the second floor of City Hall. Opponents with Arkansas Works are expected to make one more attempt tomorrow to scuttle the program. Senate President Pro Tem Jonathan Desmang says he expected a motion in the Senate tomorrow to try and overturn Governor Asa Hutchinson's veto of the sunset provision. Desmang said they don't have complete disclosure at this point. State Senators Scott Flippo of Bull Shoals and Linda Collins Smith voted present last week, with Senator Missy Irwin of Mountain View not voting at all. The only senator from the area to vote yes was Greg Standridge. Flippo and Irvin had been among 10 senators who had threatened for weeks to try and block the revised program. The Senate approved the plan by one vote, backing an unusual tactic that required supporters to initially vote to end the subsidized health coverage for some 267,000 Arkansans. In the House, State Representative Nelda Speaks of Mountain Home cast one of 13 dissenting votes, while Representatives David Branscombe of Marshall, Kelly Link of Flippin, Michelle Gray of Melbourne, and Ron McNair of Alpena voted for the revised legislation. Lawmakers who will reconvene tomorrow hope to wrap up the state's fourth ever physical session, which started April 13th, within the next 2 weeks. Some Harrison High School students are hoping to make a maker's space a real space in town. Senior Jonathan Porras, junior Spencer Henricks, and sophomores Evan Angle, Nathan Bright, and Sean Purdy are currently involved in a three-part challenge they hope will result in a $20,000 prize to be used for a makerspace in Harrison. Makerspaces are creative do-it-yourself spaces where people can gather to create, invent, and learn. Makerspace often has equipment such as 3D printers, software, electronics, and craft and hardware supplies and tools. A Harrison Makerspace, which would be the second in Arkansas, would also have the potential to draw in people from other communities. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at headline news from around the region as TKO8 News continues.
Plants, plants, and more plants. That's what you'll find at Camps Plants in Harrison. Perennials, annuals, ferns, hanging baskets, and the largest selection of garden vegetables in the area. With different varieties arriving weekly, you're sure to find the perfect plant, shrub, or tree at the best price in the area. Camps Plants in Business for over 30 years in Harrison.
Stop and shop.
There's more great 66th anniversary savings waiting for you this week at Edwards Grocery. Select a variety's banquet meals, only 66 cents. Hunt squeeze ketchup, only $1.66. Chicken of the sea tuna, only 66 cents. Regular thick sliced Carolina Pride bologna, only 66 cents. And Best Choice cooking oil, only $1.66.
Edwards Grocery, saves you money.
Here's another satisfied client from Dental Creations of Harrison.
That several people complain about after a year it doesn't fit, it doesn't feel right. And it's because your mouth changes. And they offer the final set of dentures. And it's just like your own teeth. I eat corn on the cob, I eat steak, and Wanda and Dave and Tara was my personal person in there. They're awesome people in there.
Dental Creations on the square in Harrison, next to the Big Red Boot.
Authorities say a Jacksonville man has died while swimming in the Spring River in Sharp County. Sharp County Sheriff Mark Count says 22-year-old Dylan Stewart was camping with his wife at Riverbend Park on Saturday. Count says Stewart jumped in the water from an overhanging tree, then began to struggle and call for help. Authorities say witnesses performed CPR on Stewart after he was pulled from the water, but he was pronounced dead at the scene. And the Arkansas State Police says weekend motorcycle accidents on highways in the state have taken the lives of two people. 26-year-old Christian Sagelman of Springdale, Arkansas, died around 9:50 p.m. on Friday. State Police report says that Sagelman was driving a 2006 Suzuki motorcycle when he struck a Chevy Sport utility vehicle from behind. State police are also reporting that 38-year-old Jennifer Vandenberg of Mount Pleasant, Texas, died on Saturday after an accident on Interstate 49 in Texarkana, Arkansas. Vandenberg was a passenger on a 2007 Harley-Davidson motorcycle when a tire blew out and the driver lost control, overturning the motorcycle. Vandenberg was pronounced dead at a hospital in Texarkana, Texas, around 2:30 a.m. Arkansas Secretary of State has disclosed that 4 foreign and state entities paid more than $20,000 for food, lodging, and travel expenses for trips to China, Taiwan, and New Orleans last year. Secretary of State Mark Martin filed an amendment to his 2015 Statement of Financial Interest on April the 15th and another on Thursday to correct the dates for the trip. The amendments were filed after the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette asked who paid for part of Martin's expenses on trips to Guyana and Taiwan. Under state law, state officials are required to disclose non-government sources of expense payments exceeding $150 for food, lodging, or travel that involves their offices. Martin spokesperson Chris Powell said it was an oversight to not disclose them earlier. Agriculture specialists are eliminating the Zika virus concerns for many farmers and producers in Arkansas. They're pointing out that the Zika-carrying insects were in the United States. The mosquitoes that are associated with the virus don't breed in rice fields, swamps, or flood waters. That can be comforting for many of the Arkansans. Mosquitoes that can carry the Zika breed closer to homes such as bird baths, tires, and other containers that hold water. Outside the general mosquito-related problems, experts say there is not an immediate concern for the Zika virus right now. The Extension Service does say there is concern that the virus may become established in the United States. But according to the CDC, there have been no instances of people acquiring the disease through mosquitoes in the U.S. The National Weather Service meteorologists say that it is easier to forecast stormy weather than it is to predict what goes on in the human mind. As the nation's midsection braces itself for a possible tornado outbreak Tuesday, researchers have yet to determine when to raise a general alarm. They say that with too much notice, people might try to flee in their cars, putting them at greater risk. For now, the Storm Prediction Center is reminding people in general that it's late April and tornado season is upon us. Forecasters suggest cleaning out the storm shelter, buying a weather radio, but get some gas for the chainsaw just in case. The center is telling emergency officials a severe weather outbreak is possible across Oklahoma on Tuesday, with storms also from Dallas to Wichita, Kansas. Locally, the National Weather Service is predicting the possibility of severe weather with thunderstorms and chances of heavy rain beginning Tuesday and continuing into Wednesday for this region. Before we take a look at the weather forecast for the work week, here's the way the stock market ended today. Well, it was a beautiful weekend. I hope you had a chance to get out and enjoy. And likewise, kicking off the work week today was another gorgeous day as well. Temperatures right around the 80-degree mark. We showed 81 degrees here at our studios for an afternoon high with lots of sunshine out there. Looks like that weather will continue until about midweek, as I mentioned in one of the previous stories. A major system moving into the area, and all the ingredients will be perfect by about Wednesday that we could see some severe weather in our area. Well, looks like another beautiful day in store for tomorrow. Temperatures tomorrow about the same as today, around 82 degrees with mostly sunny skies. Then on Wednesday, scattered showers and thunderstorms expected to be in the area. 60% chance that we will see some rain. Some of that weather could be severe at times. 80 degrees for an afternoon high. On Thursday, sunny skies, 82 degrees. Then on Friday, a little bit cooler, about 74 degrees, about normal for this time of the year under partly cloudy skies. And Saturday, another system in the area giving us scattered thunderstorms, particularly in the afternoon. Daytime high of 74 degrees and about 60% chance that we might see some scattered showers on Saturday afternoon as well. We need some rain right now, but we certainly don't want to get into any of this spring bad weather patterns that usually happens about this time of the year. Stay with us. Be back in a moment. We'll take a look at sports from around the region as TKO8 News continues.
Spring has arrived in the Ozarks. This is Brent Carell inviting you to Carell Family Gardens and Gifts in Harrison. Whether you need an entirely new landscape or simply need a rose to brighten up a corner of your backyard, we have a large selection of trees and shrubs. We also have Harrison's largest selection of pottery, from terracotta clay pots to gorgeous glazed pots in every imaginable color, shape, and size. Perhaps you're looking for garden benches, outdoor pillows, fountains, lanterns, or maybe just the right gift for someone? We have an array of home decor and gift items. Maybe you need something for your young children or grandchildren? We carry a full inventory of fun items to create fairy gardens and yard art. Are you ready to garden? We carry all the spring vegetables and seeds you need to get your garden growing, along with compost and fertilizer. As the weather continues to warm, we'll have a dizzying display of blooming annuals, perennials, hanging baskets, ferns, roses, and hydrangeas. Correll Family Gardens and Gifts is your locally owned garden and home store located at the north end of Goblin Drive at Industrial Park Road.
A high school athlete in the viewing area received another honor for his contributions on the basketball court. Izard County senior Andrew Walker was selected as one of the top 5 boys basketball players in Class 1A for the 2015-16 season at the Arkansas Basketball Coaches Association banquet in Benton. Walker led the Cougars to a record of 36-8. He averaged 25 points per game this season. Randall Tharp went to Lake North Fork on Sunday with the lead in the Bassmasters Elite Series event after 3 rounds, and he ended up staying on top of the leaderboard. The Port St. Joe, Florida resident won the tournament with $103,000 after a 4-day total of 61 pound, 10 ounces of fish. Arkansas and Missouri were both represented in the final day of the tournament as Mike McCleveland of Bella Vista took home $12,000 for the 9th place finish, and Brian Snowden of Reed Springs ended up in the 10th spot and came away with $11,500. Home runs by Nicole Schauder and Shelby Hires helped the Razorbacks to an early lead, but Ole Miss rallied for 5 unearned runs in the 7th inning to post a 6-5 win in Sunday's series finale. It was Arkansas's 12th time this year with 2 or more home runs, and first during the SEC play. Schroeder, Torrey Cooper, and Madison Yanati each had multi-hit games against the Rebels. Arkansas returns to action with its final midweek game of the season on Tuesday, a road matchup at Oklahoma State. The Razorbacks will then close out their home schedule next weekend when they host LSU beginning Friday at Bogle Park. Jel Goroski homered, tripled, and singled, and rookie Amida Diaz had a homer among his 3 hits as the St. Louis Cardinals rallied to beat the San Diego Padres 8-5 Sunday to take 2 of the 3-game series. Godric, traded from San Diego to St. Louis in December, had 2 chances to complete the cycle, but flied out to left field and grounded out to third in his final at-bats. Randall Goodrick had 3 hits, 3 RBIs for St. Louis. San Diego's bullpen imploded for the 2nd straight game. Kevin Qualkenbush allowed consecutive homers to Godric and Diaz in the 6th to tie it, and Brandon Marrier gave up 3 runs in the 8th, including Matt Carpenter's go-ahead RBI triple with 1 out. Goodrick's 2-run double with 2 outs as well, and Kevin Seagrass pitched for the 7th to win as Trevor Rosenthal pitched the 9th for his 5th save in as many chances. St. Louis begins a 4-game series in Arizona tonight. Jamie Garcia starts for the Cardinals while the Diamondbacks go with Zach Gika. Arkansas man has won the North Pole Marathon on Saturday, according to race results. Dorm Wiggenberger of Bentonville, Arkansas, finished the marathon in first place with a time of 5 hours and 17 minutes. The North Pole Marathon has been around since 2002. This year's race featured a total of 31 men, 16 women from many different countries. 2 teams also took part in the marathon. When not winning marathons, Wingers, the vice president of produce and floral, is with the Walmart Corporation. That wraps up our broadcast here for this evening. Thanks for joining us. Join us Monday through Friday at 6:30 and again at 10 p.m. as we continue to bring you local news, weather, sports, and local announcements from around the area on Harrison's broadcast station, TKO Channel 8. Now stay tuned for more local events around our viewing area.
KTKO Channel 8 Harrison. Local television worth watching.